Got to take inventory. If we're going to have a vision for our life, we're going to have a vision for our physical health, we got to take some inventory. It's going to look different for all of us. Some of you, maybe you got this medium jacket, but you need to start working out a little bit more so you can put a little bit of muscle on, a little bit of weight so you can get up to that large, you know what I'm saying? Some of you, maybe you're rocking at 3X and you need to get down to a 2X or maybe down to a 1X, right? And God can help you do that, but you got to take inventory. All of us are at different stages. We got different body types. I get that, right? But take some inventory and come up with a vision and a plan today. So we're going to talk about some categories today. So if you're taking notes today, first one is this, and I want you to kind of even write some stuff down or type some stuff in your notes. Number one is I want to ask you, what are you eating? What are you eating? Because what does your diet look like? This is what the average American diet looks like. It looks like this right here, doesn't it? I know some of y'all looking at that, your mouth's starting to water. You're like, oh, Pastor T, why'd you put that up there? What time is church over? I'm ready for lunch, right? But this is what the average American diet looks like. It's greasy, it's fried, it's fatty, it's processed, it's full of calories, it's full of cholesterol, it's full of all kinds of stuff that, if you continue to keep eating that over time, there's going to be some effects. I know some of y'all are young, especially the 11:45 service. You're like, oh, I can eat whatever I want. I eat pizza at 3 a.m. I'm good. Yeah, you can do that for a little while. Wait till you get to your 30s and your 40s. So I got a witness in here from anybody? Like all that stuff starts to catch up with you as you get a little bit older. Now, listen, I know, how many of y'all know, it's expensive to eat healthy? To eat at the healthier spots or to get organic or, all that stuff, it's more expensive. I get it. But listen, eating the bad food that tastes good, the cheaper food, right? Guess what? It's going to cost you more in the long run because you're going to have all kinds of health issues and your quality of life is going to be affected in a major way. And so the bad stuff tastes good, but you know what? You got to train your palate to start to eat some of the healthy stuff. I never ate a salad. I thought it was for old people or something until I was about 20 years old. First time I tried a salad and I had to try to keep doing it. I'm like, I got to eat more greens. I'm trying to be healthier. I was trying to drink more water, but, I still went up and down with that a little bit, right? But if you need some direction with diet, we're going to put some stuff. We're starting a Facebook group, and you can register for that. Tap in through our Facebook, crossover Facebook page. We're going to have a Church Fit Facebook group on there as well. And we're going to post all kinds of stuff on there and on our social media. Yeah. So we'll give you some diet plans, some options, some different things. We got a lot of experts in the church that are helping us with all this. So first one, what are you eating? Let me ask you the second one. What are you drinking? What you drinking? Or some of y'all say, what you drinking? Some of you are drinking this right here. This is what you drink all day, every day. Sugary sodas. You drink them. Put that down. Don't hold it up. Don't hold it up. We're going to pray for you down here at the altar right now. And yeah, they taste good. I like soda. It tastes good, but it's got a ton of sugar in it and caffeine, and it'll give you a little rush, but then usually later in the day there's a crash. Then you got to drink some more of it, and it just becomes this cycle, right? And there's all kinds of calories in it, and there's all kinds of other things that goes on. And as time goes on, you can gain weight, and all kinds of conditions can happen because of sugary sodas. Where's all my Hispanic people at in the house? Make some noise. So all my Hispanics, you know about these sodas right here. Y'all know about these right here. So if you've never had the pleasure to have one of those sodas, woo, watch out. So I got introduced back in the days to some Cocorico. It's like some coconut soda, man. And so regular soda has maybe 30 to maybe 35 grams of sugar in a can. Not those. Not those. Those are 65 to 70 grams of sugar in one can. That's why you got a lot of Hispanic people that get diabetes by the time they're 40, right? So man. Then on top of that, some of us are saying oh man, well, I'm drinking health drinks. I'm drinking all these health drinks, and I'm doing this and that, Pastor T. But some of the health drinks, y'all taking those energy drinks, and some of them got a ton of sugar. And they got all kinds of other stuff that gets you all amped up. I mean, I've had some energy drinks before, and it can start to make me shaky. I don't do that good with caffeine, right? But listen, I know people that just simply stopped drinking soda and didn't change anything else in their diet, didn't start exercising, none of that, and lost 15 to 20 pounds in just like a month or so, just because there was so much sugar and whatnot in soda. So let me ask you, what are you drinking? I like soda, but I don't drink it anymore. I might have a soda like a couple times a year. I'll treat myself just a little bit, right? But I drink water. I'm water all day, every day. Like, that's what I do. It cleanses you out. And there's different kinds of water as well. Spring water is usually the best a lot of times. Purified water sometimes takes out some of the minerals and nutrients that you need in there. So do some research on water. There's even different levels to water, right? Second part of drinking. I'm going to go there. How much alcohol are you drinking? Oh, yeah. Y'all didn't think he was going to come to crossover and see some Bacardi up on the screen today. Nah, you didn't think you was going to see that. Some Jack Daniels, like, nah, like some of y'all, I'm taking y'all back. Some of y'all, I'm taking y'all back to last night. Anyways, we're glad you're here today. So, there's nowhere in the Bible that says drinking alcohol is sin. There's not. We're not super legalistic here. But it is very clear in the Bible that says when you get drunk, when you become of not having a sober mind anymore, that's when it crosses the line into sinful territory. And if you've been drunk here before, or you know some people, been around some people that have been drunk before, you could say some things, you could do some things that you later regret, right? So there's a lot of practical wisdom to why you want to stay sober-minded, because you can put yourself out there and look a fool. 1 Peter 5:8 in the scripture, it says, be sober-minded. Be watchful, right? Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking somebody to devour. There's a reason that's in the Bible, y'all. First of all, like, this is a spiritual battle that we're in. And the enemy's going to try to tempt us and get us to do crazy stuff sometimes, right? But on the other hand, it's in the Bible because God knows the way our bodies are made and wired. He created us. He's the designer. He's the maker, right? He knows the label of what's good and what's not. And a lot of alcohol is not good for your liver, your kidneys, your heart. Like, it's not good for everything. If you've ever drank a lot, you get up the next day and, yeah, you feeling it. It's called a hangover. And it ain't no joke from what I hear. I never had a bad hangover, so I don't mess with alcohol either. But listen, it's no joke. God has it in there. I know all of us in here probably have some stories of family and friends, or even ourselves, that have been affected directly because of alcoholism. And my father-in-law, he passed away a little bit over a decade ago. Great man of God. But earlier in his life, he was a heavy drinker. And he had been sober for like over 30 years. He loved Jesus. Great guy. But there were still consequences. And he died of cirrhosis of the liver. And he was young. He was still in his 60s. He was strong up until that point. Like, he had many more years ahead to be with the family and the grandkids and everything else. And his life was cut short because of choices he made earlier in his life. I've seen that firsthand, the pain that brings. One of my friends in 1996, back in the day, when we were young, he was just hitting like 21, able to go out and drink. He went out drinking with some of my friends that night. And I wasn't there. I was already living for Jesus by that time. But I got the phone call and found out that he got drunk. And when they were walking, he ended up tripping and falling and hit his head on a curb and went to the hospital and died. And so I've seen like how alcohol has like took people's lives, and I've seen how it's just affected people that were in addiction to it, and how it's rocked families and it's just hurt so many different people. And so, listen, I want to just ask you today, what are you drinking? Some of you are depending on it as a crutch. And maybe God today is saying like, hey, it's time to let that go. Time to admit that you don't need that in your life anymore. And so I know I'm speaking to somebody. I'm talking to somebody today. And you can even eat clean and do everything else right, but if you're still drinking a lot of alcohol, it's going to catch up with you. So here's the third one, y'all. We're going to go there too. What are you smoking? Oh, yeah. What are you smoking? Because sometimes you might go up in your crib and it's looking like this right here. Oh, yeah. What are you smoking? Yeah, I asked it. Because listen, I know that cigarette smoking is not very popular like it was back in the day. You watch those like 70s and 60s movies, like everybody's all smoking everywhere, in the house, in the restaurant, in an airplane. It's crazy, right? We would never do that now. So like all these campaigns came out because smoking, they discovered like, yeah, it gives you lung cancer, it's bad for your heart, it's bad for your skin, it wrinkles you up, it's bad for your teeth, get yellow, all that stuff. So a lot of the next generation has gotten away from smoking. Like, nah, we're not doing that. They did a great job with all the campaigns. But at the same time that all that was happening, there was a new thing that slid in as that was going down. Yeah, we're going to have e-cigarettes. We're going to have vaping. Ooh, and it comes in flavors. We got all kinds of flavors for you. And yeah, like this is, but the chemicals in there, there's nicotine in there, and there's all kinds of other chemicals. It's just as addicting. And so you're trading one thing for the other thing, and there's all kinds of different studies on it, and they're not really sure. It's inconclusive, but they're not even sure what all those chemicals are going to do to you over time because there's no long-term studies on it because it's fairly new. But I've read stuff that says, man, it's way more dangerous than actually like cigarettes. I don't know, but we're going to find out, but I ain't messing with it. At the end of the day, like our lungs were not created to have smoke regularly going in them or to have heavy vapor going in them. Or if some of y'all that want to go hang out with everybody and go to the hookah bar and you smoking all that stuff in like, and then you're coughing and you got all this stuff happening and like, because our bodies aren't made for that. Not made for that. So bottom line is, we're not made to be smoking stuff on a regular basis. So let's talk about one more, okay? One other thing that some people are smoking. Trust me, I know you're smoking it because I smell it when you come in church. Oh, yeah. Especially 11:45 service. We love y'all. Some of y'all was smoking. It smells like you was smoking in your car before you walked in. Weed. Listen, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. You know you got a good church reaching the whole city, reaching the community, loving the city when it smells a little bit sometimes. Like, listen, weed has become so normalized now. It has, because in so many states now it's legal, recreational and everything. In Florida, it's not yet, but medical is, and so you can just go to certain places and say, hey, I got a headache, I got back pain. You get a card, and you can be all up in there. You can get whatever you want, even here in Florida. And listen, I know for some people, it can really help with pain. It can, and it might be better for them than taking some opioids. Yeah, so I acknowledge that. But there's most people, I would say, especially that are younger, are not taking it for pain. They're taking it to get high. They're taking it to escape from reality. And what does the Bible tell us? That we need to be what minded? Sober-minded. And we're trying to escape from reality all the time. And then, some people will say, oh, I do it because I had anxiety. But then I know some people that say, man, it gave me anxiety, right? Either way, at the end of the day, it's still not natural for your lungs to be smoking something in all the time. There's lots of studies on what it does to your brain cells over time, what it can do to, your body in different ways. And so you got to just weigh it all out. Is this really worth it? Is this holding me back from my purpose? I've talked to a lot of people that regularly had smoked weed on a regular basis, and they were like, man, when I smoke, it relaxes me, but it makes me lazy. And I just want to sit on the couch, and then I get the munchies. And I start eating stuff I shouldn't eat as well. And I just don't do the things that I'm supposed to do because I'm just in such a relaxed state all the time, and I just escape to that, and it can become a crutch. And so again, if you got a vision for your physical health, if you got a vision for the goals and purposes and plans God has for your life, if you're regularly smoking a substance that's going to cause you to be high and not be of a sober mind, it's going to take you away from what God has you to do. So I love y'all, but I'm talking to some people today. I know it. And we're glad that you're here today. So number 4, we're going to go deeper. Got real quiet at the 11:45 service today. Got real quiet. What pills are you taking? What pills are you taking? First of all, let me say this, medication and medicine, modern medicine can be a real blessing. And it's a miracle in many ways, and it can help people. And so I'm not up here at all saying, stop taking your medicine. Not at all. But at the same time, our country, many people and systems and the ways that things run, profits have been put above people. And a lot of times the goal in some circles is, hey, we want customers for life. Get them on as much medication as we can. Has anybody seen the show Painkillers on Netflix? Some of y'all? Yep. There's several other ones that are just like that. Somebody was telling me, oh, there's another one that just came out. And you can see just how certain circles and realms, and I got to be careful what I'm going to say so they don't block this video, for real, how pharmaceuticals will be something that people get hooked on, and it becomes real devastating. There's been an opioid crisis in our country. Every day today, even right now, there's over 300 people dying every day because fentanyl is being laced in a lot of different pills and things that people are taking. And so, for me, when I went originally to the doctor was like, hey, your thyroid is getting slow. You're going to have to take this medication for the rest of your life. It's just because you're getting older. You know what? At that moment, I felt like God's Spirit speaking to me like, no, don't accept that. That's not your story. That's not your story. I want you to do some work and research and figure this out because God created our bodies to heal themselves. How many of y'all believe that? Now, listen, I know in every situation that's not always the case, that we can heal ourselves through different things. But in a lot of cases it is, because a lot of times it's our lifestyle and the things that we're continuing to eat and drink and smoke and all those things is affecting us. And if we make some changes, we can watch miracles begin to happen. And so I'm so grateful for my doctor. She does regular medicine, but she really focuses on holistic medicine. And this is what holistic medicine does, if you don't know. Holistic medicine focuses on trying to heal the issue and get to the root of the problem, not just cover up the symptoms. Right? And that resonates with me so much because that's what we do here at Crossover spiritually. We don't want to just cover up the symptoms that you have, but we want to get to the root of the issues that you have in your life so God can heal you and make you whole and make you brand new. And Jesus can come in, the gospel can touch you, and put everything back together the way it needs to be. And so I know some of you will come in and you'll be depressed and having a bad week, and you'll come in and you'll be in worship and you'll be like, man, it feels good to be in God's presence. But then you walk out of here and you don't really make any changes. You don't really let God in all these other areas of your life, and you go back doing the same things you do. And then tomorrow, like, that feeling's gone, and you're back in the same. You're depressed, you're anxious, you're going through all this, you're addicted to this thing and that thing. Then you come back the next Sunday, you're like, give me another hit of that so I can feel a little bit better. And listen, we don't want to just cover up the symptoms. We want to help you get to the root of the issue of whatever's going on in your life, some of the trauma that might be there from the past, some of the things that you still haven't healed from. When you lay yourself out on the table and say, God, do operation on me, be the surgeon, like, I'm the patient right now. When you fully let yourself vulnerable in every area, God begins to operate and healing can happen. But we got to have a vision. We got to have a plan. We want to see you get healthier, whether you are 22, 42, 72. God created our bodies to heal himself. And man, we got to have vision and take responsibility. And a lot of times we can get off of the medication if we change our lifestyle. I had somebody come up to me after the first service. She was probably about 30 years old. She said, man, I've been on diabetes medication since I was 9. But I've been working really hard the last year, and my doctor just took me off all medication. Yeah. So number 5, let me ask you this one. Are you resting? Are you resting? Come on, put that picture up. I got to make everybody feel better. Everyone's getting mad at me. I got to put a cute picture up. Are you resting? Are you sleeping? Where's all my animal lovers at in the house? Listen, I'm going to spend a whole Sunday on this later in this series, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it right now. But at the end of the day, like, God designed our bodies to rest. So take inventory. Are you resting enough? When you sleep, it's like you're replugging in like a cell phone. Like some of y'all, you walking around with your cell phone on red all day. It's red, it's like 5%, right? You're getting the blinking thing, like I need a charger. Some of you are doing the same thing with your physical body. You're not plugged in long enough, getting enough rest, and you're walking around all day kind of on 10%, 5%, 3%. You're ready to just fall out. So are you resting? Here's the very last one we're going to take inventory on today to get a plan. Are you exercising? Are you exercising? I know some of y'all rolling your eyes at the skinny guy. Listen, for some people that are skinny, like me, I had to literally, to grow into a bigger size, I had to work really hard. If you would have seen me about 15 years ago, I was 25 pounds less than I am today. I've put on 25 pounds in the last 15 years, and mostly in the right places, right? Because I've been working hard. I've been working out regularly. I've changed up some habits. I've done some different things. It's not easy, whether you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to gain weight, right? It takes discipline. It's not results that you see right away in 1 or 2 workouts. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11, it talks about discipline. It says this, it says, no discipline is enjoyable while it's happening. It's painful. Can I get an amen? But afterwards, that part right there will be a peaceful harvest of right living for those that are trained in this way. And when you train yourself, when you rebrand yourself to live right spiritually, to live right physically, when you put all those things together, listen, I'm telling you, y'all, it's your perfect fit. It's peaceful. Feels good. Like you're in the right place. You feel good. Like you look better. You look healthier. You have more energy. You're able to think more clearer. You're able to be more productive. You're able to get more stuff done because you're living right. You're disciplining your body to do the right things, y'all. And so listen, I know it's hard. It's hard in this crazy world that we live in when it's all this bad food in front of us that tastes good and it's cheaper, right? And when we live in a world where we're behind screens all day long for like 10 hours, but I want to tell you something like you got to put the screen away, put the screen down, and get out and move your muscles. Get in motion, move. Somebody say move. Look at the person next to you, tell them you need to move. Type that in the chat, move.